Tonight on News 3, local businesses are getting their day in the sun today with Small Business Saturday.
This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening and thanks for watching News 3 at 6. I'm Amanda Quintana. Fans are starting to leave Camp Randall right now after what could be their most disappointing loss this season. The Badgers lost to the Minnesota Gophers in the Battle of Paul Bunyan's Axe, 37-15. It is the final regular season game for the Badgers. Melissa Kim will have the latest from Camp Randall later on in sports. Today's game at Camp Randall is a special one for UW band director Mike LaCrone. He's retiring this year after 50 years of conducting the band through hundreds of football games. We'll hear from him and have more on his last game at Camp Randall tonight on News 3 at 10. New at 6 tonight, Madison police are looking for a missing 15-year-old girl. Binta Jama was reported missing on Tuesday after leaving West High School early. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. Anyone with information is asked to call the Madison Police Department. Madison police are investigating an alleged stabbing late last night. Officers say just before midnight last night, a 36-year-old man walked into the hospital with a stab wound. Police determined the man came from a large apartment building on the 200 block of South Park Street. A 22-year-old woman was found at the apartment with minor injuries. Police are still trying to figure out what happened. All right, Dave Caulfield joins us now with your first alert forecast. We're keeping an eye on tomorrow, correct?
Yes, with the possibility of snow for some of us. It really comes down to a difference of about 50 miles as to getting no snow or getting quite a bit of that snow. Here is the system still exiting the Rocky Mountains, moving through portions of Nebraska and South Dakota right now. Still about half a day away from southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. For us, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam this evening. 41 degrees, west wind at 10 miles per hour, so it does feel a little bit more like the mid-30s. Temperatures are in the upper 30s and low 40s throughout southern Wisconsin, but with a bit of a wind still out there, it does feel like the lower 30s and actually the upper 20s for some of us north and west of Madison. Temperatures and winds over the next 12 hours will fall steadily through the 30s, right around the freezing mark as we start our Sunday. And your day planner for Madison, the threat of some snowflakes is there for much of the day on Sunday. We'll take a closer look at timing and talk potential snow totals as well in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Ahead of that potential snow, a snow emergency is in effect for the city of Beloit. This means all cars must be removed from city streets from 11 a.m. tomorrow morning to 11 a.m. Monday morning. If you're wondering where to park during that time, there's a list of parking areas on the city of Beloit's website. As always, if your plans depend on the weather, make sure to get our Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. You'll find updated and accurate information there. After a busy retail day on Black Friday, shoppers are heading to local businesses today in support of Small Business Saturday. Now that Monroe Street is clear after nearly a year of construction, businesses are celebrating that today too. Our Madeline O'Neill has the story.
For 9 months, Monroe Street here has been home to orange cones and construction, but now it's welcoming back traffic, both cars and shoppers.
Hello there. We were celebrating both that the road is open with the clapping and applause of our mannequins, but also that it was 1 year of being open.
Pam Schwartzbach says for nearly as long as her boutique, Hive's doors have been open. Lanes on the street in front of it have been closed.
Certainly there were challenges. We've seen some really wonderful business owners close up their shops this year, which is always sad to see.
Those challenges
Perfect. Here we go.
make this day that much sweeter.
So I think it's kind of nice to do it on Small Business Saturday.
And I'll be right back.
Pam's daughter Isabel is inspired to make a small business of her own, a bake sale raising money for a project fighting poverty.
We are gonna buy goats, geese, and honeybees.
Well, it's a fantastic store.
Next door at Strictly Discs, the small business bash continues.
156.
It's kind of like early Christmas.
The Keller family comes here about once a week.
A trip to the record store like any day. You come here, it's great.
But it means more on this Saturday.
We just like helping small businesses thrive, and I think it's great for the community to have these businesses here and to help support a neighborhood.
just to keep them alive, because they're usually better than like giant, like big department stores. I think that's cool.
I think it's a message that we can all hear.
Co-owner Angie Roloff wasn't sure how construction would affect her business.
The city had said to expect anything from 25 to a 75% decrease in business.
While foot traffic business weakened, their die-hard customers held strong.
We feel really fortunate. Our customers are hardy.
It's really just a celebration and a validation that our community supports this neighborhood.
Back at Hive, Pam says Monroe Street businesses, no matter the size, have plenty to celebrate.
Do you want a Rice Krispie treat or a brownie? Here you go, honey.
If we survive this year with fairly good success,
There you go.
Thank you.
it can only get better.
More than a dozen businesses here on Monroe Street took part in Small Business Saturday today. Reporting in Madison, Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
Monroe Street reopened to traffic both directions on Wednesday, with bus tours officially starting back on Thanksgiving. City crews will finish installing street signs over the next couple of weeks. Small Business Saturday is making an impact elsewhere in Madison, including an innovative art space and venue. Communication is a 7-month-old nonprofit storefront and all-ages music venue on Milwaukee Avenue. Its owners say that it's an intentionally sober space intended to be welcoming to all. They sell merchandise from local artists and say today's sales can make a big difference.
We focus on artists that don't have other storefront opportunities, right? Artists who are small, who can't necessarily afford to have their own storefront space or be in a larger business, that it's an affordable way for artists to get that face time with people they wouldn't necessarily know.
The store also featured a pop-up record sale. People in Sun Prairie are feeling the holiday spirit today. Community members brought their families to the Cross House for free photos with Santa. Kids brought him letters and sat on his lap for pictures. Just a couple days after Thanksgiving, people are ready for Christmas celebrations. According to Santa, he's happy to see those smiling faces.
Pretty busy and pretty steady with kids, and I've been going from the ones that are definitely scared of Santa Claus to the ones that are going to run up and give me a hug. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great day.
Santa was telling the kids today that with only a month until Christmas, they had better stay on his nice list. Coming up, the person who was killed by an Alabama police officer during a mall shooting on Thanksgiving was not the shooter. Police believed they killed the shooter, but are now saying it was the wrong man. Details after the break. Police in Alabama now believe an officer shot the wrong man during a police-involved shooting at a mall on Thanksgiving night. Tonight, the shooting suspect is still on the run. Kenneth Craig has the latest from New York.
The family of shooting victim, 21-year-old Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., gathered outside the River Chase Galleria in Alabama to demand justice.
They shot the wrong man. They need to be out there trying to get the person that did the killing and the shooting or whatever they did.
Hoover police say officers were responding to a fight among several people inside the mall Thanksgiving night. Shots rang out and 2 people were seriously injured.
It happened on the escalators right above us. It was like 6 to 7 shots. That's all I know, though.
As shoppers ran for their lives, a police officer confronted Bradford.
So yes, the Hoover officer encountered an armed individual, and he did shoot and kill that person.
Initially, police believed Bradford was the shooter because he had a gun, but now they admit he did not shoot the victims.
This is not the way to say goodbye to EJ. Not with a bullet. Not in the back.
Bradford appears to have gone through Army training, but the Pentagon says he never served. The officer involved in the shooting has been placed on administrative leave, and the manhunt for the shooter goes on. Kenneth Craig for WISC News 3.
Next on News 3 at 6, we're all told to anchor our furniture to the wall, but we don't always do it. The result could be deadly for children. Consumer Reports test the stability of dressers and how likely they are to tip over when we return.
On one of the busiest travel days of the year, a snowy Sunday is in store. For some, we'll go over timing and possible snow accumulations in your forecast in just a few minutes.